Good evening, everybody. I would like to just briefly rant on something that's been bothering me for a while, and that is Etsy. I do sell some physical goods, even though I'm mostly a digital artist, but, and, well, I guess like everybody, I was like, hey, it's gonna be too difficult and expensive to try to start my own website because even though like every YouTuber promotes like Squarespace and stuff, it isn't cheap. It's still very much not cheap, especially when you're first starting out and you may not have exactly like the profit margin to support a website quite yet. So Etsy seems like really good and really appealing to first time physical sellers. So I stupidly thought, that's fine. And at first it kind of was fine enough. A little difficult uh, to work with when you don't quite know everything. And, like I starting out, I didn't weigh my packages, so how was I supposed to know what my packages weighed so I could calculate out shipping and how long it would take for orders and stuff, and having to be considerate of if I got multiple orders in and how long it would take me then. But, it seemed fine, it seemed great. But then I got my first order and immediately noticed something was wrong. Just with how maybe I just didn't think about it right or I miscalculated, but I swear there was more than just the 20-cent listing fee getting taken out of my money that should be for me and for my projects, since, once again, don't have that high a profit margin, so I didn't have a whole lot for error. And so to have money be taken out of what I should have been paid, more or less just immediately made that project a negative. I just wasn't going to make any money back. I was going to lose money on it. So that was mildly annoying, but I thought, hey, it's okay. I'll just raise my prices just slightly, as much as it is definitely annoying, because when you start out, just raising prices is so hard. Either you're just underselling yourself and you just can't mentally wrap your mind around the idea that, yeah, it's okay for you to charge that much, but also, if you're a nobody and you're not really selling something that's like super important, trying to convince people to buy your things are, you have to make it cheap, sadly. As much as I would like to be able to have all these nice things and like to provide all three sides of the triangle of fast and good and cheap, you kind of just have to pick the two that you want to focus on the most. And when I started, I had to pick good quality and cheap. So my times took really long. It was a mess. It's a mess. Uh, but as I grew on other websites and stuff, I was just getting annoyed with how even just little views I was getting on my Etsy shop. They're just having to pay 20 cents per listing per, like, I think at the time it was every month. Just was, I know it sounds ridiculous, it's just 20 cents, but when you have like a bunch of stuff, like even if you have 10 listings, which I think I only had 5, that's still like $1 per month just to have stuff up there. Not even to like have people look at your stuff or buy your stuff or anything or any kind of marketing. It's just there. I did mostly custom orders at the time, so like it was just easier for me to operate on different websites where I could communicate with the people directly, because fucking Etsy's communicator is awful. Just terrible, which I guess is another one of my complaints. It doesn't allow you to put custom forms up, so like, if I have my thing to order a custom, and it's like, nope, I'm gonna have to take everything out and send every measurement needed and every customization option just per message, and that's annoying. And just the way you do customization, if you do it through the listing, is confusing and sometimes not very useful if you do like custom sizes. Like I do onesies, so like I need, that's a full body object. I need all these measurements. So it's not like I can just be like, oh, this is a small, this is a large. No, this is straight to that person's body, which is just not doable. Combine that with just like the fact that the shipping calculations always seem to me to either be way, way, way too small or way, way, way too big. And I don't appreciate having to pay, you know, essentially twice what shipping would have cost. Even if that does technically make profits for me, which I know I'm probably going to get fussed at by somebody if they find that out, and that person would know who they are. But in all honesty, it's not worth screwing over people, especially when I am still such a small creator of all of my platforms and all of my mediums. So it's just, I don't want to be exposed, at least not right now. So I'm just like, I have to charge even short change on the shipping, and that isn't great. And there's only so much I can do to change how I ship my products to make it more even closer to just breaking even. So I just never found it worth it. And then on top of that, to have, oh, I forgot the harpins. That this is why I should focus on scripting videos first. Anyway, I guess to like also get to my point is that like I know Etsy got into a bit of a controversy. It wasn't super big, so I don't know how big or how truthful or anything like that the thing was, but the whole we're gonna promote your store more if you label everything you have in free shipping, and that they were encouraging creators to just put the shipping into the price of the item, which has kind of a gray area in legality here in the States. So, you know, they were kind of trying to force you into doing something that was kind of questionable. And then you also have the fact that for a lot of artists, especially the one that I was listening to, he's a painter, trying to put shipping into that, you know, it's so much money, and then you're having to guess and hoping to pray that you're right of how much it would cost for you to ship somewhere. And just to pretty much say, if you don't offer that, we're not going to promote your store, I find is really shitty. But then again, apparently Etsy's been going more manufacturer over handcrafted stuff anyway, and which is another huge, that could be a whole rant on its own, just because I feel like I hate sites that promote handmade, or here for artists, and then definitely are not. So that's just it's shitty. I don't like it. I don't think a whole lot of people like it. I don't expect like people to stop using Etsy. I know people in my family have absolutely refused to stop using Etsy because they just find all the coolest and cutest stuff. But I personally, as an artist, do not support it that much. I have to keep it open just because I know that there are some people out there that feel more secure buying through something like Etsy than getting, you know, doing the whole private messaging and getting an invoice via PayPal and things like that to get stuff online. So I'm kind of stuck, but I guess that's kind of the whole point of it all, is that it's like, it's there because some people like it to be there. And as much as I may complain, it probably is just falling on deaf ears at this point. So gonna probably be finished ranting now. So, good evening and stay undead.